Thank you to all the panelists and Lieutenant Colonel Hensey for his insights on this interesting topic. We're going to move right away with our next session, which is going to be a case study with a single speaker. The matter that we will be discussing now is specifically the European Union Satellite Center case study that will be discussed. The speaker for this case study is Mr. Mario Savastano. Sorry. Mario is currently the strategy manager at the European Union Satellite Center. He is also running the capability review program from the European Union Satellite Center, engaging stakeholders and users of the European External Action Service, EU member states and partner organizations. He supervises the capability development projects of the Satellite Center in the EU, in the framework of the EU's Copernicus and Space Situational Awareness Program. Just a quick note before we invite our guest, we will have a break after this particular case study, and then we'll resume our last session for the morning at 12:50 sharp after the break, which is, again, a very interesting session on hosting payloads in commercial environment. So a continuation of our discussion this morning. But for the time being, please welcome Mario Savastano for the case study.
So good morning, everybody. Thank you very much to the organizers. Thank you to the sponsor for giving the European Union the opportunity by presenting the Satellite Center to inform you, if you like, on how the European Union and what the European Union is doing on defense, security, and space. So the European Union Satellite Center is an agency. It's an agency of the European Union. It's a tool at the service of what is called the Common Foreign and Security Policy, and in particular the Common Security and Defense Policy. Is an entity politically and financially essentially controlled by member states, and receiving operational direction from the High Representative for the Foreign and Security Policy of the European Union. Our staff is composed by officials coming from all European Union member states and experts seconded by nations. So this is probably the biggest, the world's biggest foreign affairs and defense ministry in the world. This is the Europe, and the small box in the circle there is us, because we like to do it big, but also very complicated. So we are accompanied by a number of other agencies, the European Defense Agency, which is the European Procurement Agency, the Institute for Strategic Studies, and we serve essentially the crisis, the so-called crisis structure of the European External Action Service. Two of these, one is dedicated to military affairs, the other one to civil contingency planning, and then, of course, the military staff, because, yes, there is a military staff also in the European Union. So what we do, we essentially do imagery intelligence and geospatial intelligence. We have a range of products and services. This is our core business. We have a range of products and services ranging from very simple briefing notes to very comprehensive geographic information systems and web map services, which integrate a lot of items, from the most simple imagery to analysis of radar imagery to digital terrain models. Of course, we operate in domains of common interest for member states. These include crisis monitoring, humanitarian aid, analysis of development of military capabilities on the ground, monitoring of building of weapons of mass destructions, civilian and military infrastructures. So we are essentially what we call a dual-use asset of the European Union. We can operate both for defense and, in general, security issues. We have now like 20 years experience of exploiting Earth observation systems. We essentially operate with commercial systems, but we have the particularity of being the only supranational entity having access also to military systems like the French Helios or Pléiades, the Italian Cosmos SkyMed, the German TerraSAR system, and for the future we are signing an agreement with the Spanish system, radar system PAS. So we are actually a vivid, a concrete example of pooling and sharing in Europe, in which member states put only a fraction of their of the needed money and getting 100% of the output. So as I said, our users range from very high-level political decision maker, like the high representative for foreign policy, to people on the ground, operational headquarters and field headquarters. We can also serve third states having signed agreement with us and international organizations such as United Nations or recently, for example, the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. Different users, different needs. I was so pleased to hear this morning the focus put by the CEO of YASAT saying that we have to customize, we have to tailor our solution to the specific need of the users, and this is actually what we do. So intelligence, I think that most of you here are familiar with intelligence cycle, but what is exactly a cycle? I think I was reading recently in the Milsatcom magazine a statement like, geospatial intelligence is the foundation of all intelligence efforts. That's because, finally, intelligence must be spatially related to become useful. Yes, it's true. Today we have data coming from a number of sources: satellites, unmanned aerial vehicles, sea, land-based sensors, social networks, and a proliferation of mobile devices. So, how to achieve a fully integrated intelligence cycle? Is an intelligence cycle is a network in which all relevant actors are not only reached, but also are enabled to contribute with with validated data to this so-called process or cycle. Yes, the concept of users is changing dramatically towards the role of key actor. So how to put the power of GEOINT in the hands of users? This is a slogan of the US NSA. There is a clear need for communication frameworks able to support communication between the network of actors, the entire network of actors involved in the whole life cycle, from sensors down to users, and also from users to the entire network. So today we are increasingly depending on broadband communication, of course, yet in the field, bandwidth remains scarce and limited. Also, needless to say, availability and security are crucial aspects. User requirements. I think that since the user source is changing, and since the context is characterized by complexity and volume, in a continuous evolving context, there are no predefined solutions derivable from offline activity of requirement definition. Our experience is that we have really to walk on the user's shoes, understand their business, live and breathe their processes so that we can clearly understand and articulate solution in which value is actually co-created and co-owned by the supplier and the user. Yeah, this is how the European Union structure his cooperation activities, cooperation and capability development activities. We have essentially three pillars. We have SATCOM, we have Earth observation, and we have space situational awareness. The four key actors in this are the European Space Agency, the European Commission, which is the government of Europe, the European External Action Service, and the European Union Satellite Center. So, capability development. Capability development is the issue in European Union, and we usually recite these mantras. We have pooling and sharing, we have comprehensive approach, we have dual use, we have civ-mil capabilities. We are continuing proposing this and fostering this mantra.